Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have some big news pertaining to Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy and his contract status with the Dallas Cowboys as reported by Tom Pelisserro. Let's get right into it. Be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content. But first, a word from our sponsors. Now, y'all know about our sponsor, BetUS, America's favorite sports book. Well, now you can discover BetUS's casino playground, which means you can do more than just bet on your favorite games using BetUS, but now you can also play your favorite slots, the hottest slots, the newest slots, whatever type of slots you want to play. You can play those online with BetUS Casino, and you can get a 200% sign-up bonus now, up to $5,000 to play your favorite casino-based games using BetUS. All I ask is please bet responsibly, and let's get back into today's show. So Tom Pelisserro is reporting after several days of discussions about the 2024 season and the future, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and coach Mike McCarthy remain open to moving forward together, and the sides are expected to open talks on a new contract to keep him in Dallas per sources. There have been no negotiations yet, and still are other issues to work through. McCarthy's contract is set to expire Tuesday, giving Dallas a few more days to work out a deal. Otherwise, McCarthy would be free to pursue other opportunities. That last paragraph right there was probably the most alarming thing that I've seen in that entire paragraph, because I said this on the Cowboys Collective, which we do live every Wednesday with John Michaud, the Law Nation, and Foots the King. I said this on the Cowboys Collective. The Cowboys are putting themselves in a very dangerous spot, because how is it that a whole entire week has now passed since the last time the Dallas Cowboys have had to play football, and the most pressing thing that has to be at the top of their list as it pertains to properly running their organization, the most pressing thing that could possibly be there has to be making sure that the entire team, fan base, and the organization knows who the next head coach is going to be. Mike McCarthy has had to play this entire year, or coach this entire year with the Dallas Cowboys on a lame duck contract, assumingly no negotiations taking place, assumingly no real indication for Mike McCarthy whether he will be here or not, which could be part of the reason why we've seen him kind of take a different approach as it pertains to the last game of the season. People made a big fuss about him hugging coaches going into the locker room after that Washington Commanders game, and he just kind of was talking differently as it pertains to his job status. But now you're telling me that, yes, you're trying to re-sign Mike McCarthy, which that's news in itself. The Cowboys are officially trying to re-sign Mike McCarthy, so we know what their first option is this offseason. It is Big Mike. And if we end up with anything outside of Big Mike, that means it was a Jerry Jones family backup plan. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to have nothing to do with any of the Jones family backup plans, because their plan A's have been sucky. So there's no telling how bad the backup plans will be. But Mike McCarthy, not only has he had to coach an entire year on a lame duck contract and essentially have no stability, no clarity for his family or himself on the future of his family or where they're going to be living at, where they're going to be. That's one thing right there. It happens, right? Sometimes coaches have to coach on a lame duck contract. But now, at the end of the season, you're making use of every little ounce of time, every single day, still remaining on this man's contract. You're taking your time still, and you still didn't have an answer ready for this man. You still were not prepared to move forward with Mike McCarthy immediately. I'm sorry, if you knew you were going to keep him, this should have been done almost immediately after the season was over. If you didn't think that you were going to keep him, it should have been done almost immediately after the season is over. In no world, in no way is it okay to wait this long again just to make a move on your head coach. At this point, we're creeping past Jason Garrett territory. I believe the Cowboys had already made a decision on Jason Garrett by January 8th or something like that. Last time that coaching cycle was around. We're now on January 10th, and we're receiving reports that they haven't even started negotiations. They're still talking about stuff that they may or may not like that the other person is trying to impose on them. They're probably still still hammering out whether or not Mike McCarthy is going to be the play caller, whether or not he's going to be okay with giving up play caller duties. If he does give up play caller duties, who is the play caller that he's going to bring in to call plays for him? See, there's all these different details and nuances to this. And quite frankly, had y'all started discussions early, had y'all been on top of this like a real GM should be, y'all probably could have hammered out a lot of these questions and concerns a lot earlier, or figured out, oh, he doesn't have anybody else that he would want calling plays. So are we okay with that, or do we want to move on? See, the Cowboys are doing absolutely everything backwards right now, because it just makes no sense to me that you are 4 days away from this man's contract expiring and there have been no contract negotiations even started yet. They're still talking about the stuff that they want to see, the concessions that they want both sides to make before even getting to the contract negotiation part. And by the way, that could end up going south as well. What happens if Jerry Jones isn't trying to get Mike McCarthy into that top 10, top 5 paid NFL head coaching rank, and instead he's trying to keep him in the bottom 5 NFL head coaching rank as far as pay? Is Mike McCarthy going to take that? People talk about all the time, oh, Dallas, the benefit of being there. Oh, I'm sorry, I haven't seen not one Mike McCarthy commercial or ad or anything that he's sponsoring since he's been out here in Dallas. And to be quite frank, I didn't see that with Jason Garrett either. So the coaches aren't necessarily the recipients of that star power that being with the Dallas Cowboys brings. So as a coach, you absolutely have to make sure that you get everything that you're worth within these negotiations. So is Mike McCarthy going to take another $4 or $5 million per year type of deal, even though this time he isn't coming off of being out of football for a couple of seasons, even though this time he isn't coming off of being undesirable for most teams because Aaron Rodgers essentially tanked his value, even though this time he's coming off of multiple 12-win seasons, and even in a season where he lost his quarterback and most of his team for the year, he still ended at 7-10, which is honestly just a win or two away from being 500. Even though Mike McCarthy has all this stuff that, to be quite frank, goes in his favor, are we sure that Mike McCarthy in the contract negotiation aspect of this is going to be the easy part? Because what if Big Mike says, no, you need to pay me properly for what I've put up? There's only been 1 or 2 coaches that have actually been winning Super Bowls since I've been the coach here. Those coaches should be making more than me, but everyone else, not really. There's been no one that's consistently been making deep playoff runs or anything like that. No one else has really accomplished more than a Mike McCarthy outside of an Andy Reid or a Sean McVay or one of these random coaches that honestly, outside of an Andy Reid or a Sean McVay, or I guess you could give it to like a Nick Sirianni or Kyle Shanahan, outside of one of those 4 or 5 guys, nobody else in the league should be making more money than Mike McCarthy. So is he going to be okay with coming back for pennies on the dollar? There's so many questions that have to be asked, and the fact that they are still moving this far behind in the process, they're still moving this slow, is very, very concerning. That's all I can say. Let me know what you think about all this stuff down in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the next one, and we stay same old cow.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy, shut up. Hey!